Howdy y'all, you got the Bulldog on the channel. It's that time of year again. The leaves are changing color and falling down, and you're getting your bow, your rifle ready for go out there and get some meat for the winter and get your firewood all in. And also you come after me because you turned on your heater in your vehicle and there's no heat. You don't find this out in the middle of summer. You find it out whenever it gets cold. Once again, I'm going to show you how to do this. I have other videos, but they get lost. So I'm just doing a straight water flush to a heater core. They put stop leak in these things from the factory. They make it out of warranty. So what do they care? We have to flush it back out. It becomes a gelatinous mess inside the heater core. And usually you get some good pressure and blow that stuff out and you're good to go. Sometimes it's more than that, but not often. Usually this takes care of it. We're just straight water flushing. We don't have to worry about chemicals or anything like that. Now this one here is a 5.7 Hemi, a 15 model. And heater hoses are right here. They're easy to get to. I've got them plugged off so we don't lose all of our antifreeze. And you just tuck them hoses down there. Use one of them to put your water into while the other's pointed down. And here's my setup to do this with. It's just, you go to the store and get some plumbing piece of pipe. It's 5/8 on the outside. I believe this is 3/8 pipe, but it's 5/8 on the outside. And I got an elbow just to turn it, a big old quarter turn gate valve. This provides a lot of flow and I can shut it on and off really quick. Most of the time this works out pretty good. You don't even have to put a clamp on it. Occasionally you do. Shove that on there a little bit, blast it, and then I just now pull this hose off, grab the other one, stick it on there, back flush it. Grab it again. I've done this a couple, 3 times. Since this one's easy to do, I'm doing it several times. Now I have switched directions on this thing probably 4 times, 5 times. I did it once before I went and got the camera. So we figure we've got a pretty good flush on this thing. I'm gonna hook it all back up and we'll see how much heat we got in the register now. Okay, we got our hoses hooked back up down there. Like I say again, this is a very easy one to do. Since we got hoses, we can pull them out. You might have to do it differently on yours. You have to get some connectors, extra hose, get it out to where you can work with it. So not all of them are going to be this easy, trust me. All right, I'm sitting in here. Now this thing is not warmed up all the way. I drove it 50 miles here, but that was about an hour ago and it has cooled off a bit. But I'm already getting way more heat out of the vents than I was the whole ride. It was kind of a cold ride. So that's going to take care of that. We're on a test drive right now and we've got good heat. It has not gone away. While I was driving, I'm trying to rack my brain. Well, should we go ahead and flush the system? Should we go ahead and flush the system? And then it occurred to me, I did flush the system on this truck 6 months ago, I think, with acid. So that's not the issue. The stop leak is gone, but you know, it was I think June, July, and we were dealing with an overheating issue with it. So that is why we weren't really concerned with whether or not it had heat. it had flow through the heater core. That wasn't an issue. I had checked the temperature of the hoses before, and if they're plugged up, you'll have one that's hot and one that's cold. On this one, both were warm. So it had flow through the heater core. It just did not have heat transfer in the heater core. And we seem to have solved that right now. All right, I'm back from my test drive, and it's got pretty good heat. Like I said, we've already flushed the system. That means what caused this, the stop leak that they put in at the factory, is all gone. I will top this thing off. It had plenty of it in there for the test drive, but now that it's all warmed up, I'll know exactly where to put it. Usually, once you do this after flushing the system, it takes care of it. If you have not flushed the system yet, you can get by with just doing the heater core. However, it will reoccur. And I have had them where it reoccurred 2, 3, 4 times. This customer, actually, when he first started coming to me, he had a car that did this repeatedly. And once I got the whole system flushed out, because it was dead of winter and we didn't want to stop for that, then they didn't have any trouble again. But this is a very common issue now. Now, I'm going to go inside and I'm going to show you why we have this problem. All right, here's a rough design of a heater core. You've got your inlet pipe right here, your outlet pipe right here, or vice versa. You got water that comes in, and this will be divided between these two. So it runs in, goes across, and then back all the way across. This might be the inlet where it runs down and then back out this way. Again, same thing. But what will happen is on certain designs, it'll have it to where it's batched out to where only maybe 2 cores will run. And instead of coming in, running in, back, like this, and then back out, they'll have it to where it just comes in and they'll have only the inlet and outlet divided. So what we end up having is it comes down a core, goes back a core, and that's it. So this amount here that has flow, that's all that ever exchanges heat. And the rest of this is just full of antifreeze, or antifreeze and plug, whatever you want to call it. What we do is we blast enough in here that it forces its way through the rest of these, so we get flow across all the fins. So when you're talking about a heater core that's plugged up, it's not that it's plugged up usually, it's that it has a very limited capacity to exchange heat because the rest of the fins are not flowing. It is a design flaw inside the heater core itself. It's easier to make it to where everything runs parallel. It needs to run in series. That's more difficult to make. I have never taken one apart. I know this is how they're built. If you have a different opinion on it, or if you know more about it, go ahead and drop it in the comments, but only if you know about it. If you just think, make your own video. But here's what I've found over the years. It's the internal design of the heater core makes it prone to restrictions because of how it flows internally. But if you have any other thoughts or experiences on this, go ahead and drop them in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe, hit your little bell notification, share it all around. We'll talk to you later.